everybody, and welcome to That Wrestling Show, the podcast where all pro wrestling matters. Yeah, we're a couple days late, but, we were never good on time anyway. So,
What is time?
well, it's a thing that keeps track of everything that goes on in the world, but that's not really important right
Never, never ever heard of time.
now.
It's probably not real.
this week, this week on the show, we are going to talk about the people and maybe others who have benefited from this global pandemic that we are still in. Plus, WWE came out with their second quarter numbers. We're going to talk about that. We may talk about the week in wrestling and a whole lot more. Before we get into it, this was something that I wanted to talk about because last week we meaning the world, we lost a great person in Regis Philbin, who passed away at the age of 88 years old. He was 1 month shy of his 89th birthday. A lot of people know him from his talk show that he did for so many years, be it with Kathy Lee Gifford or Kelly Ripa. A lot of people will remember him being the original host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire here in the United States. He did a lot of things, and he was one of those people that I never heard a bad thing from anybody. But one of the things that Regis did tremendously was he would have wrestlers on his talk show. And he was one of those people who was like with open arms would have wrestlers come on. He credited Classy Freddie Blassie for his career being as big as it was, get it started when he was over in San Diego. The Destroyer was another individual. And then when he came on national TV, he had a lot of the WWF wrestlers on there. He would have some of the WCW wrestlers on there. And if I had to make a comparison, I'm going to go back to someone that you and I both really like, bro. And that is Weird Al. Because the saying is, you have not made it in music unless Weird Al has done a parody of your song.
Mm-hmm.
I believe to a degree, in wrestling, you were not a big time name unless you were on Live with Regis.
I would agree with that.
Because there were so many people that were on there. Savage went on there, Mr. Perfect went on there, Hogan went on there, Luger, Bret Hart, Undertaker, Rick Rude, Stone Cold, John Cena, The Rock. There were so many people. And if you were a guest on Regis and Kathy Lee or Regis and Kelly, whichever one you want to pick, that was a sign that you made it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, Regis was a big part of WrestleMania 7. He was on commentary for the main event of WrestleMania 7 with Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter, which is a big deal because not too many celebrities did commentary for the main event of WrestleMania. The only other one I can think of off the top of my head is Elvira for WrestleMania 2. That's the only other one I can think of. But Regis was one who, even if he wasn't a fan of wrestling, he represented the community very, very well.
Mm.
And I know we have this talk, and I know Jim Boy Star's going to say this to me the next time I talk to him, because, well, everyone's going to get into WWE Hall of Fame, which is true. How is Regis not in the celebrity wing?
Yeah, no, it's atrocious.
I mean, he should be in by now.
Yeah.
Maybe when they decide to do the Hall of Fame this year, if they do, maybe Regis will finally go in. But it you know, it was a little sad to hear that he passed away. Of course, I could hear him right now probably interviewing Andre the Giant or asking a $500,000 question to Randy Savage right now. But he will truly be missed, not only from an entertainment point of view, but also from a pro wrestling point of view. And I also want to mention, yesterday we got word, or Friday we got word, that Rollerball Mark Rocco passed away. If you don't know him outside of England, he was the original Black Tiger in Japan. And the Black Tiger character comes from, the Tiger Mask anime series, the original one. And that was the main villain on the show, was Black Tiger. And when New Japan got the rights to use Tiger Mask as a wrestler, they were able to get Black Tiger, and Mark Rocco was the original Black Tiger.
Mm.
And I've seen a couple of his matches as the Black Tiger, and he is very, very good. I would recommend everyone who, doesn't have time, or doesn't have anything to do, go up on YouTube, type in, Mark Rocco Black Tiger, and you'll see his stuff. Probably the last thing you and I saw him in was British Boot Camp for TNA.
Yeah.
Because he was there for that first season. I don't know if he was there for the second one or not.
I don't think so.
But yeah, he will truly be missed. One of, I would say he was an underrated wrestler. Go watch his stuff. He's really, really good. I think he was like 69 or 70. He was young. It's still young to think about it. Alright, let's get into WWE's second quarter earnings. Believe it or not.
Yeah, because they were so good.
Yeah.
I looked at them and I said, wow, I wish I could buy stocks right now.
Yeah, even though some company just suggested this week, like, don't buy their stock right now. Okay, gotta give you the notes here. Revenues were $223.4 million compared to $268 million in the prior year quarter, reflecting the timing of the company's large-scale event in Saudi Arabia. Revenues reached a record $514 million year-to-date, representing a 14% growth from the prior year period. Operating income was $55.7 million as compared to $17 million in the prior year quarter. Adjusted OIBDA1 increased to $73.5 million from $34.6 million in the prior year. The free version of the WWE Network, which was announced on June the 1st, unlocking a portion of the content library to expand, reach, and engage of its direct-to-consumer streaming service for all fans. Network average paid subscribers declined 1.5% to 1.66 million, while ending paid subscribers increased 6% to 1.69 million. Digital video views increased 10% to a record 9.9 billion, and hours consumed increased 15% to a record 374 million hours across digital and social media platforms. E-commerce revenues nearly doubled to $12.6 million, substantially offsetting the loss of venue merchandise sales, with 76 fewer events in the quarter. A couple of other notes to mention real quick. Due to COVID-19 and related government mandate impacts on WWE, the company continued its various short-term cost reductions and cash flow improvement actions. These actions contributed to WWE's enhanced liquidity, which reached $548 million in cash and short-term investments as of June 30th. The company is continuing to adapt its business to the changing environment with a focus on enhancing the production of content and furthering fan engagement. Management may resume its opportunistic acquisition of stock under the company's $500 million share repurchase program, subject to WWE's business outlook and liquidity, as well as whether share repurchases compare favorable to other capital allocation alternatives. And management continues to believe the company's growth prospects remain strong and that WWE is well positioned to take full advantage of the changing media landscape and increasing value of live sports rights over the longer term. I don't know how this was their biggest quarter ever. It just was.
It makes absolutely zero fucking sense.
It really does.
It kind of makes me angry because it's like they are going to look at this and say, "Oh, look at us! We're so great. We can continue on what we're doing right now."
I mean, they had to release, for no reason whatsoever, over 24 people from their jobs, which they did not have to do. And yet, WWE is going to have their biggest business year ever because of this. Makes no freaking sense whatsoever.
Yeah, like I said, this is just like, I don't like it.
Yeah. Now, sticking with business news in general, in Japan, it was announced on July 27th that DDT, Pro Wrestling Noah, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, and Ganbare will be merging into one company on September the 1st, which will be called Cyberfight. The name comes from the parent company, Cyber Agent, which owns both groups, DDT, Noah. Senshiro Takagi, who has been running DDT, will head the merged company. What is important to note here is that the 4 promotions that were mentioned will stay afloat. So DDT will stay DDT, Noah will stay Noah, Tokyo Joshi will stay Tokyo Joshi, and Ganbare will stay Ganbare.
But it's very good news. I feel like this is very, very good news.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I would agree with that. Obviously, none of these promotions are close to being the number one, which is New Japan. And they've got young talent, and I think merging them along with the streaming service that DDT has, which also has Pro Wrestling Noah content on there, is going to help this. And I'm not going to say that they're going to right away be like the number 2 in Japan. I think it's going to take a while because, something like this just doesn't come together and then boom, they're a big threat overnight. It takes a long time.
I would agree.
So we'll have to see how this works. I think it's going to work well. No one's losing jobs, which is a big plus, especially during this time. Japan hasn't really been affected as of late with COVID-19. Like, they haven't had people be sick again as badly as here in the United States.
Right.
So I think, for the most part, they're gonna be all right.
Everything's gonna be
I
all
don't know
right.
why I said that so slowly just now. Do you have one more list?
If I have one more list of what?
The TV shows, and if you've seen them or
not. How far are we?
You're down to the last 50.
Yes, I am. Okay, cool. I will find that right now.
All right. And while he does that, I'm going to do a quick plug here. Probably sometime later today, going to be a new part of the summer series with myself and Jim Boy Star. We're going to be joined by Sarah as we review Battleground 2016. That'll be put up today. You guys can listen to that show after you're done listening to this show. So you're going to get your money's worth today. And what I mean by your money's worth, I mean you don't have to pay anything.
Cool. I am ready.
All right, last 50. So Fro's going to name me a show that is in the top 250 rated on IMDb. I have to guess if he has seen a full season of that said show or not.
That is correctly, sir. And let's go.
Okay.
Letterkenny.
That doesn't sound like a show you'd watch.
No. Impractical Jokers.
Impractical Jokers. I'd say you would watch that.
Yes. Louis.
I'm Louis Anderson. No, that.
Yeah, no, not that Louis. The other Louis C.K.
Yeah. I'm gonna say you've seen it.
I have. Big fan. Mr. Robot.
Yes.
Yes. Succession. Succession, yeah. Like the following someone.
I'm gonna say yes.
That is 110% correct, sir.
All right.
Succession, yes. Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
This is a tough one, actually.
Made long before I was
born. Yeah, I know, but have you had the capabilities of seeing? That's the question. I'm going to say no.
I have. Love it.
Oh, you have not? All right.
I love it, I said.
Oh, you love it?
I have, yeah. GTO.
No.
No. And Dower.
No.
Nope. The Night Off.
The Night Off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say no.
It's actually very, very good. It's
right.
about this woman that gets stabbed in this HBO series. Big Little Liars.
Yes, I'm going to say yes.
Yes. Let me see. Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley. Yeah, I'm going to say you've seen that.
Mm-hmm. Victorious.
No.
It's a very good comedy show. Homicide, Life on the Street.
I'm going to say you've seen that.
Yeah. Hey, Bill, do you think I have ever seen Whose Line Is It Anyway?
I'm going to take a wild guess and say yes, you have.
I think so as well. Spartacus, Gods of the Arena.
No.
Nope. Couldn't give two shits. Hannibal.
No.
I have seen Hannibal, sadly. Yes. Horace and Pete.
Okay. I have never heard of this.
It's a British comedy show from 2016, according to IMDb.
I'm gonna say no.
But I have seen this because it is with Louis C.K. Naruto Shippuden.
That's a no.
No. The Office, the original one.
Yes.
Them UK
The
version.
UK, yes, you've seen it.
I am Alan Partridge.
Oh, hi, Alan Partridge. How you doing?
Hi.
I'm gonna say no.
No. John Adams.
No, you don't really care about that kind of history.
I don't, but I have seen that. Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say yes.
Yep. Black Books.
Black Books. Yes.
That is 110% correct. Buku dake ge inimashi.
Oh, that's a definite no.
New Batman Adventures.
Yes.
No.
Oh, okay.
Your Lie in April.
No.
No. Mob Psycho 100.
Mob Psycho 100. I'm gonna guess no.
No. Spartacus!
No, you haven't seen the show.
I have. Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Blog.
I'm hoping you have not seen it.
I have not, no. Community.
Yes.
Yes. Queer Eye for a Straight Guy.
Yeah, you've seen that.
Yeah. Vikings.
Yes? No, wait.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, I've seen Vikings. I mean, it's more or less about my country.
Pretty much.
Yeah, more or less. Aesel.
No.
Clannad After Story.
No.
No. My Brilliant Friend. So it's not about you, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to say yes, you've seen it.
It is a French story that is very, very good. Hilda. Yeah.
Yes.
Nope. Hilda follows the adventure of a fearless blue-haired girl as she travels from her home in vast magical wilderness full of elves and giants. Never ever heard of it even. Feud, Betty and Joan.
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, that is definitely up my alley. Guardian, the Lonely and Great God.
Yes.
Nope. Luther.
Yes.
Yes. The Adventures Bros.
Adventure Bros. No.
Adventure Boys. Yeah.
No, I'm just.
I have. The Kick.
The Kick.
No. It's very good. Sorry. My Hero Academia.
No.
No. Meme Review. Why is PewDiePie on this list? Like Meme Review? That is such a random thing.
I'm gonna say no.
I have. Deli Crime.
That sounds like a Fro show.
No, it doesn't.
Mm.
Samurai Jack.
Oh, this is a tricky one because it's not anime. Technically not anime.
Technically not.
I'm gonna say yes.
Samurai Jack going back. Yes. Kaku Hirikakaya Standalone Complex.
No.
Nope. Ramasoro Criminal.
No.
Nope. Samurai X.
No.
And lastly, but not leastly, Anscher Mutter und Sevata.
No.
No. But that was very good German.
I thought that was Japanese.
If I have to say. No.
Oh.
You thought that was Japanese? Wow.
Wow. Amazing.
Amazing Grace.
Oh yeah, like you'd really sing that song. Come on now.
How sweet the sound.
Okay. I actually wanted to talk about this next topic, because I thought this was a pretty interesting article that WWE.com put up last week. They came out with their list of the top 10 matches of the first half of the year for WWE.
Okay.
The number one match was Undertaker AJ Styles, the Boneyard match. That's their number one.
Okay.
Here's the rest of the top 10 in no order.
Yeah, I wonder what the other orders are then.
Edge versus Randy Orton, the greatest wrestling match ever.
Mm-hmm.
The Men's Royal Rumble match.
Mm.
Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the WWE title. That one was really good, actually. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte from WrestleMania. The men's and women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the Intercontinental title. Keith Lee versus Adam Cole, winner take all. Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai from NXT in Your House. And Matt Riddle versus Timothy Thatcher in the Fight Pit. So, of the 10, which one would you pick as the match of the year for WWE so far?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think I would go with the Boneyard match.
Okay.
But if you're talking an actual match, Drew and Seth would get my vote.
Yeah.
If you understand where I'm coming from on that one.
Yeah.
Which I think you do.
I do. Yeah.
So we put this poll up on our Facebook group and asked them, which match would you vote for in WWE as your match of the first half of the year? Well, we have a tie. And I gotta say, I'm not disappointed on this one, actually. Because the tie is Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles Intercontinental title match, and the triple threat match from NXT in Your House.
But the tide is cyan, something.
Very good, bro. Very good. Ratings came in for Wednesday night, and
Yay!
Once again, AEW defeated NXT in both demographics.
It wasn't by so much this time.
Not as much as the previous week. AEW had 773,000 viewers. NXT had 707,000, so it was closing the gap a little bit. But that key demographic, 18 to 49, that's your big difference. AEW was on top again with a .3. NXT was at a .18. You have to take into consideration that baseball was playing on Wednesday night. So, how they both do this week with NBA basketball back, hockey back, trying to think what else there is. Baseball. It's going to be interesting to see how both do this coming week. Meanwhile, on the Monday Night Raw side, they had their lowest rating for the third hour ever this week. The lowest. Hour 3, 1,463,000. That is their lowest third hour viewership ever.
Wow.
When, compared to the first 2 hours, they actually did pretty good. Hour 1 was 1,699,000. Hour 2, 1,688,000. It's that third hour, Fro. It's that third hour. They just can't. I don't know what to say. I really don't. How many times are fans going to say over and over again, get rid of the third hour, get rid of the third hour?
Well, they need to get rid of the third hour.
They really do.
See? I said it again.
And compare it to 2016, when the first episode of Raw in 2016, the third hour, brought in 3,503,000 viewers for the third hour.
Yeah.
Oh my God! In 4 years. 4 years.
But that's one of the things that I kind of like about it. It is at least showing that there's something very rotten.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is definitely something rotten in Denmark. Let's talk about Impact.
Yes, very good this week as well.
Yes, they had another good show this week. I am a fan of Wrestle House.
Good.
I'm all in on Wrestle House. I think match time is going to be the new hit phrase of this decade. Match time!
It is funny.
Now, I wonder how long they're going to do this.
The gimmick?
Yeah.
As long as it works.
Well, I'll say.
I mean,
go ahead.
TNA isn't really known for letting gimmicks go.
Yeah.
So.
I'll say this: they definitely got the right group of people on there.
Oh yeah.
I cannot complain about that.
I think right now, I think Impact, funny enough, has one of the strongest women divisions and tag team divisions. I'm not going to say singles division because I think AEW beats them there.
Yeah.
But when it comes to tag team and women, I think Impact has it.
I'm going to ask you something because I'm glad you brought up the women's division. Because there's been rumors, and these are only rumors, that maybe, maybe not thinking of changing the name Knockouts Division.
Yeah,
How do you feel about that?
I'm okay with that. I mean, it is a little passé, I guess. I mean, as long as they don't change it to something stupid, I'm okay by changing it.
Right.
A name is just a name.
Yeah, I understand. But I guess, like, with.
It depends what they want to change it to.
Mm-hmm, that is if they decide to do it. Because they might do it, they might not do it. So, I don't know. I guess for me, because, like, I read quotes where, like, Gail Kim is like, yeah, we should keep it Knockouts Division, and a couple other former female wrestlers have said the same thing. I mean, if the women are fine with it, then I'm fine with it. If they want to change it, then I'm fine with that as well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be as nearly upset or disappointed about it. So, remains to be
It's not
seen.
like you when WWE changed it.
Oh man, I remember people were saying about they did the the Ruthless Aggression documentary, which I haven't
Yeah.
seen yet. They're like, World Wrestling Federation just decided to change its name to WWE. Bullshit!
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that was terrible. And speaking of terrible, the low light of Impact this week. Well, actually, it wasn't really a low light because it ended up being funny for me. Was Katie Forbes.
I liked it.
I actually liked the segment, even though I cannot stand her because
She's awful, isn't she?
Oh, you can see my pictures for $3.99. And then the way she starts counting, folks. I'm just gonna do a quick dramatization of it. It sounds like a freaking 6-year-old was counting. She goes, "Here we go, 5. Oh, this is such a big moment. 4. Oh, this is gonna be fantastic." And you realize, like, when you're watching it, you're like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
But I did like, how Sami Callihan got him back. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, that was fun.
So I might actually be interested in a Sami Callihan RVD storyline. I never thought I would
Right.
that.
It looks like that's what they're building to, at least.
Yeah, but that means I'm going to have to see Katie Forbes every week.
I know.
Oh, why must you forsake me, oh God?
Mm-hmm.
All right. A couple of other quick news. This is Major League Wrestling related news, and this is interesting news, but big news, as they're continuing their distribution. This week, Major League Wrestling announced a distribution agreement with Digital Original Entertainment. Try saying that 5 times fast.
Mm-hmm.
This streaming service, DOE, which is what we'll call it for now, is set to launch this fall and will be launched on Pluto TV, which is a wonderful streaming service if you don't have that.
And it's free.
Yeah, it's free. They have like 300 channels, I think, on there, and each one is
Wow.
dedicated to a specific theme. It's actually pretty cool.
It's a very weird concept because it's free.
Yeah.
It's like...
It will be available through all internet-connected TV platforms, Android and Apple OS, iPad OS, Android TV, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, PlayStation, Xbox One, Chromecast, and Virgin Media. And for those that are wondering, Digital Original Entertainment is a 100% black-owned television network operated by CEO Ron Doe Williams.
I almost wish you said Ron Paul Perlman. That would be funny.
Oh, wow.
You know, the very black person, Ron Perlman.
Exactly. And then also, they announced this week that they have signed a content distribution and sales partnership with Wave.tv, the sports media company for today's fan. The agreement.
Oh, so it's not for fans that came in like in the future. It's for today's fan.
Or the past.
Mm-hmm.
The agreement will include social media distribution of MLW athlete and league content across Wave TV's portfolio of media brands, with an emphasis on combat sports media brand Haymakers. Wave TV is a sports media company, like I told you, through a portfolio of media brands covering a wide array of fandoms and genres. Wave.tv entertains modern-day sports fans with the programming they love, produced for the digital platforms where they spend the most time. Their programming can be discovered across Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, well, maybe not for too much longer, Facebook, YouTube, and other core and emerging platforms.
Yeah, invest in TikTok stocks, everybody. I think that is going to sell very, very much right now.
You probably have a better chance with TikTok than you do with WWE.
Probably.
And I'm not even in the stock market. So there. All right. Let's get into what we let's talk about we've been in this pandemic now for about 6 months, close to 6 months. And while there have been a lot of negative in what all of us have gone through, there have been some positives in, pro wrestling over this time. And this is a very strange period to be in, because you would think, to a certain degree, that nothing or no one can improve from basically being stuck. But,
yeah, I mean, I think one of my, if we're going to start on the list, I think one of my obvious ones is Drew McIntyre.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, we can't talk about the coronavirus times without saying how much he was pushed in this period. Is definitely one of the biggest winners for me.
And the thing with Drew, amazingly, and in a good way, no one's getting tired of him.
Right.
Everyone likes him, still likes him. He's actually been one of the better WWE champions of the last 5 years, maybe even 10 years. That's how good he's been. And you can see it every week, either it be in the ring or on the mic. I'm actually glad you brought up Drew, because he was going to be one of my first people to bring up. So, if we're going to bring up individuals, I'm going to bring up Orange Cassidy.
Oh, definitely.
Here is a guy who, unless you followed him on the independent scene, has this gimmick of, it's life, it's whatever. And really, before the pandemic began, he was starting to get a little bit of momentum going with them because of the match he had with Pac back in February. which was a really good match. But somewhere along the way, once the pandemic began, and then I think the key move was when they moved back to the amphitheater in Jacksonville. That's when Orange Cassidy started to break out. And he's just become a focal point on the TV show every single week. And rightfully so. I mean, because there's going to be a topic that we'll bring up when we do plugs at the end. And I think Orange is a big part of that topic when we get into it. But Orange Cassidy can wrestle. He can be an unbelievable character. And I really think with this Wednesday's debate coming up, I think he's going to surprise a lot of people with how good he can be on the mic.
I agree. Yeah. No, he's very, very funny, and I think that yeah, I think he's one of those that has had a very good use of the Corona time. I would say that.
And the thing with him is he's not trying to be funny. That's
Right.
the thing. Like some people go out, they try to be funny, and they try too hard. With him, he's just doing it naturally.
Definitely, and I also think, yeah, like I said, it is very interesting. I think it's just like, yeah. I definitely think that Impact in all over
Yes.
has had very good draw this
Yes.
Corona period. Not only because they have done extremely smart when it comes to booking, but it's also like they did. I think they did definitely the best when it came to the Corona times.
I definitely agree with you on that because if you look back at excuse me, that Chinese food is coming to me. If you look back at the beginning of the year, where Impact Wrestling was, to where they are now, they are now being talked about again. And they're being talked about for all the right reasons.
Yeah, well,
For the most part.
Most parts, yes.
I mean, they hit the jackpot on Slammiversary.
Oh, definitely.
That was the jackpot right there. They have brought people back to watching their show, me included. If they continue to do this and continue to be smart about it, within 2 years, they might get a lot of their fans back.
Yeah, and I just really, really hope that they don't only go back to old wrestling's trope of getting old guys back. I mean, I'm kind of happy that they have Ken, and I think they have done some good things with him. It will be interesting to see what kind of impact Rhino has there. But I have to. There's especially one star that I think that has come out of this on top, and that is Ace Austin.
Yeah.
I mean, Ace Austin in Impact is one of the best wrestlers right now. And I think that they have in him what I would at least call the future of wrestling.
And he's
I will go that far.
And he's not even in his mid-20s.
And I mean, look at this women's division. We have Lisa Edwards, we have Diana Peroso, we have Havoc, we have Jordan Grace, we have Katie Forbes, we have Kara Hogan, Kimberly, Kalery, Susie, Rosemary, Neva, Madison Payne, Sung Yu, Tasha Seltzik, Taya Valkyrie, even though I don't like her, and Tennille Dashwood.
And basically, Deanna was gifted to them in a basket.
Yeah.
Just was dropped at the doorstep, given to them as a present. And she's taken the most of that advantage.
And then, like I said when we talked about this, like their women's division, I can find two. I can find two that I don't especially like.
Mm-hmm.
That's two.
Yeah.
If I look into the WWE division, I can find a lot more than two.
I mean, it's amazing how they, were like you've always said, and you've always been a defender, that they have the best women's division in wrestling.
Right. Yeah.
And I think over the last couple of months, people like myself are being reminded again that they may have the best women's division in all of wrestling. Because it's far better than AEW. I think that's AEW's weakest division, but that's with all due respect. And I think they are miles ahead of WWE because WWE lost their two biggest stars in Becky Lynch and Charlotte. And with all due respect to Bayley and Sasha Banks, who are very good wrestlers, I can't get behind their gimmick right now.
Right.
I
agree.
really can't. And then who else? Okay, the exception I think is Asuka, but who else in that women's division can you get behind?
Yeah, and a little like what you talked about. I think also like their tag team division has been very good. I mean, especially the Desi Hit Squad with Gamma Singh and everybody else. I mean, it's so it works on a different level.
And now that they have the Motor City Machine Guns back and they're the tag team champions, who knows what combinations are going to come from there to, challenge.
And they just got the Good Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
They just got the Good Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
How amazing is that? And the North that has carried, that has carried the Impact division for so long. Amazing.
And I agree with you. I think their weakest at the moment is their singles division, but but again, it's not their fault.
No, I mean, I think the most negative point is that they have the title on Eddie Edwards, and that is kind of feeling like all the Impact again. But again, I guess I understand it, and I think they need to push people like Ace Austin, Crazy Steve, and Daga. And to a certain degree, Des as well. Just like they have so many young people in their roster that they are trying to build up, and I think that's why they brought back Eric Young as well, because he is that kind of player, and they have that. Especially in Rhino. Rhino, like, people doesn't know that he's a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
He's a wrestling trainer, and I think that bringing things like that back is very intelligent.
I mean, like we said, Impact's going to get better. They're going to get better, and I just think it's a matter of time. So
Yeah, they need time. They need to build things up. They need to get it in again.
hmm okay, I'm gonna mention a name, and this may surprise people, but I'm gonna explain why. Samoa Joe.
Mm,
He has been so good on commentary that
I agree.
when I'm watching Raw, it's actually viewable to watch. It's bearable to
Mm,
watch. And part of it is because of Samoa Joe on commentary. He's not
mm,
he doesn't play the heel announcer, which I think if he did, he probably would be good at it. He's commentating from the point of, hey, I've been a wrestler for 20 plus years. I know the ins and outs of everything. I know what they're doing. I know what they can do. This is what they're going to do. And he doesn't come off like an annoying prick, unlike other, former wrestlers have. He comes
mm.
off as a guy who knows what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah.
And that's something that's
No, I
really
agree.
missing.
And that's kind of where I was thinking I would go as well when it comes to NXT, because NXT is definitely one of my winners,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that I'm not especially interested in Keith Lee as their NXT champion,
Right.
but Io Shirai.
Oh.
Oh, they have a good one there. And then they have the Imperium. I mean, holy moly, I love the Imperium. It
Yeah.
is just that amazing. And then they have also like Walter that they can have, and Kaylee Ray and what is the tag team called again? Um,
Are you thinking Undisputed
is it,
Era?
no, Gallus from
Oh
NXT
yeah, yeah.
UK. Yeah. So they have both NXT UK and normal NXT. And like I said, NXT is the only program on WWE I can watch right now.
Right.
And it's mainly because of this. It's like they are that amazing.
I'm actually glad you brought up NXT because this came across last night, and I wanted to read this. Um, NXT is about to get a little bit better
Mm-hmm.
because they signed two wrestlers who had wrestled in Evolve Wrestling in Anthony Green and Leon Ruff.
Leon Ruff, I have heard of. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been on TV for a while, but he never had a contract. Anthony Green, I'm telling you folks right now, they give him the door to, like, if they open the door and let him run, watch out. He's going to be amazing.
One of the things that I also want to bring up is Shotzi Blackheart and how amazing she has been in NXT as well. Like she's one of the women that I'm definitely looking at every week as an amazing wrestler. They have some very good wrestling in NXT, and like I said, I don't especially understand that they put title on Lee, but that's me.
You just want to ride on that small tank that she drives every week.
But yeah, no, NXT is definitely one of the winners.
All right. I have one, and I think it's an interesting choice, but I'm going to
Mm.
stick with it. The TNT Championship.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And why I say that is because, yes, Cody did win the belt. We just got to move on from that. He has, for the most part, kept his word. He has defended the title every week or every other week, depending on, like this week he's not going to defend the belt. But he's come out almost on a weekly basis defending the title. And what is so interesting about it is, there are some weeks where you don't know who he's defending against. Like, you have to tune into the show to see who he's defending against. And yeah, sometimes, it could be hit and miss, but other times it could be a home run. Like a couple weeks ago, him and Eddie Kingston. It was a home run. It was a grand slam. And because of that, Eddie Kingston got a contract with All Elite Wrestling. And what I think the TNT title is doing at this point in time is it's elevating not necessarily the champion, but more of the challenger, more of the people that are getting the shot. There are people that are like, hey, you should watch for this guy. He's going to be something. Sonny Kiss had a good performance a few weeks ago against Cody. Eddie Kingston, like the last few weeks have been really good, have been really entertaining. And the fact that we're not seeing the same person challenge for the belt over and over again, I think is a big deal. And it's fresh, it's different, it's new, and I think in a way the belt makes the wrestler at this point in time.
Yeah, my next pick is very controversial, and I understand that people will say, what, you don't even watch the product, but my only pick from WWE other than McIntyre is Braun Strowman. And you can say that the Universal Championship doesn't mean anything, and to a certain degree, I agree that him as a title holder is very smart for WWE. It makes me at least interested in it. I know that people don't care about the title.
Right. I'm gonna go controversial as well. I'm gonna stick with the same promotion. I can't believe I'm saying this, but he actually is one of the winners of this at this time. Randy Orton.
Yeah, I would agree to that. Yeah.
Randy Orton has taken control when a lot of the other veterans would, like if we weren't in this, there probably would be other wrestlers in his position. But Randy Orton, love him or hate him, has taken this veteran leadership and has been consistently on TV week in and week out, and has proven to a degree that, hey, you know what? I'm still in the ball game. I'm still with it. You might not like me. You might not care about me. But when it comes time to bringing it, I bring it every week. And he does. Even if we hate him, he still does.
Yeah, I don't think that's controversial at all. Do I agree that that's a good thing? No. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we should move on. I have to move on soon, so.
Okay, I think we'll wrap it up here for this week. I think we came up with a very good list, to be honest.
Yeah.
Very good list. Tell us, on our Facebook group and on Twitter, who you think some of the winners have been during this pandemic in the world of professional wrestling. Actually, you know what? I'll mention one real quick, just to say it. New Japan. They've done nothing wrong this entire time, so they're a winner as well. Okay. If you have any questions or comments, send an email, wrestlingman@thatwrestlingshow.com. Follow the show on Twitter at Wrestling Show 11. Follow the show on Instagram, That Wrestling Show. Join our Facebook group. It is That Wrestling Show fan group. You type that in the search bar, and boom, you are right there. If you can't find it, it's okay. I always post the link in the description of every episode. And visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/That Wrestling Show. If you like what you heard here this week, check out our extra content where you can subscribe for as low as $1 a month. Believe me, you get some very good content for $1 a month. And check out our store, teespring.com/podcast/ or pardon me, teespring.com/store/That Wrestling Show. All right, Fro, what did you guys discuss this week on Another Digital Citizen? I know you had somebody very interesting with you.
Oh, yes. We had an interview with an amazing lady that is named Van Galt. And the main topic that we talked about, and I have to look this up because I can't say it without looking it up. That's for freaking sure. Amazing author. She was super nice to be there. And we talked about a starseed's purpose in the fifth dimension.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kick some ass.
Yeah. Like, kick some ass.
Yeah. All right. Podcast you guys should check out. Check out Our Vantage Point, the Retro Wrestling Podcast with Joe Murata and Michael Quinn. They take you through the world of retro wrestling like no other. This week, in their Up-and-Comers segment, they discuss Alex Wright. Plus, Week 3 of the Royal Flush of the Worst Talkers in Wrestling. And they review an episode of WCW Main Event from October 12th, 1996. That is Our Vantage Point, the Retro Wrestling Podcast. Now, if you like your podcasts hosted by one individual, just one guy, check out oh, okay, I guess I'm doing it this week. Greetings from Allentown. With your host, PW Peter Winston. He watches one episode of wrestling each week in his own unique perspective. This week, he watches an episode of Mid-South Wrestling from November 14th, 1985, which features Ric Flair defending the NWA World Heavyweight title against Ted DiBiase. That is Greetings from Allentown. And check out Juice Pro Wrestling, where they combine pro wrestling and heavy metal together. This week, they have a very good topic, and Fro, if you're listening, I'd like your opinion on this. Does humor belong in wrestling?
Yeah. I think so.
I think it does as well. It just depends on how much humor.
Mm-hmm.
So check out Juice Pro Wrestling. If you're looking for non-wrestling related podcasts, check out the Best Pick Movie Podcast with Tom, John, and Jess. They watch each and every Academy Award-winning Best Picture winner in no particular order. This week, they discuss the Best Picture winner of 1944, Going My Way.
Nice.
Starring Bing Crosby. I'll read off the nominees for Best Picture, and you tell me if they got it right or not.
Okay.
So we have Going My Way, Double Indemnity, Gaslight, Since You Went Away, and Wilson.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with you. I think Double Indemnity is the better movie.
Okay.
I saw it again last night. It was really good. So yeah, check that out. The Best Pick Movie Podcast. Also, check out Last Stop Penn Station with Carrie Silkin and Ian Riccaboni as we go into the life of Ring of Honor representative Carrie Silkin. This week, the episode is entitled Drugs, Virgin, and Rock and Roll.
Nice.
Sounds like a good family Christian-based episode. You could get the whole family around gathered. It is Last Stop Penn Station. Also, check out The Castle Vault, a chronological deep dive of Disney animated films powered by Disney+. This week, they discuss the 36th picture that is on Disney Vault, or on Disney+, I should say, Hercules from 1997. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I'll have to get a chance to watch it at some point. Check that out. And again, another plug. It'll be up today. Myself, Jim, and Sarah, we continue the summer series as we review WWE Battleground 2016.
Nice.
All right. That's going to do it here. We don't have anything planned as of now for next week. So we'll be back on Friday, hopefully, if we can get our connections together. And we hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and we hope you guys come back for another episode of That Wrestling Show, the podcast where all pro wrestling matters. And until next time,
Wrestle
on Match Time!